Welcome to the Chelsea FanCast, the Friday night preview show. Spot the deliberate mistake. Yes, it is Wednesday. Me, Stamford Chidge, and him down there, Mr. Jonathan Kidd. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Which I think at the moment means nobody in the chat page.
No. There are people there. There are eyes on us, JK.
Are they coming in? Yes. Ready for the bongos.
Yes.
David Flotzer, Kevin, my dear chap, and John Kirk. Yes. Wow, lovely.
You see, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
No, apparently not.
There you go. It's the kind of thing Confucius might say. But anyway,
yes, Confucius would probably say, do not weed bed when the possibility of killing all your potatoes is there. In front of you.
Know.
I was better pre the show, actually.
It was, but you're still mocking the imminent death of my potato bed that I discovered today, which has left me in a very sour mood, but I'm still trying to be Buddhist about it. But there you go. The show tonight is number 1223 for those of you who make a note of such things, and we are here to preview tomorrow night's game against Djurgarden in the second leg of the Conference League Cup semi-final. God, that's a mouthful. I think the Mickey Mouse Cup is preferable, but there you go. And of course, we are, as the Chelsea Fancast, fueled by Guinness and powered by celery. I'm obligated to say that for every show, as you know. Now, don't forget, you can watch the show live.
Live, Chidge. Live!
Indeed, JK, on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and also at the same time or independently on our Mixlr channel, which is chelsea-fancast.mixlr.com. Usually we're on air on Mondays and Fridays, but if we've got a midweek match, then we'll try and do a. I'm sorry, I've just got distracted by somebody I put it on a Facebook page about my potatoos. I've got a response from the chairman of the allotment.
Oh, fantastic!
I love this. Is why the internet is a great thing. I will not reveal his name because we need to protect the innocent or the guilty. But
you said I'm having difficulty with my potatoes that appear to be more black.
My message was quite polite for me. Yeah. I said, any of you knowledgeable and experienced people have any idea what's going on with my potatoes?
Sequoias and toadying, Chidge, even.
Yes, toadying, indeed. Discovered this today, and they were fine on Monday. I think it might be early blight, but there's been no rain, and I've watered sparingly, so I'm not sure. Complete with three pictures of my potatoes with the black leaves.
Yeah.
And said chairman says, looks like the cold nights have got them. I'm sure they will come back.
Oh, sweet. But the cold nights, have they been cold? They've been coldish.
Yeah, but I mean, we've not. I thought frost. You see, would normally do for your spuds.
Yeah.
But you see, I've got another bed of potatoes that are fine.
Perhaps they're in a warmer area of your allotment.
Yeah, they're nearer the hedge. You must come down and visit my allotment, and we can have a glass of sherry while surveying my estate.
Yes, a glass of yes, and toast my mother.
Yes,
my mother always used to drink sherry. Harvey's Bristol Cream.
There we go. Frankly, I can't stand sherry. I've got a glass of red instead. I know you like
Sherry's sack.
What? Who's sack?
Sherry's sack. That's what was the origin of sherry. It came from. It's in Henry IV Part 2, I think it is. Yeah.
Well, there we go. I've learnt something tonight, as well as the fact that it might have been frost that got me spuds. Yeah, the frost has got me taters, mate.
As long as it's not your plums, Chidge.
Well, indeed. I mean, obviously, it was taters the other night.
It was very taters now. So I got my hat on.
Anyway, like all good dogs, really.
What I've got? What?
I can't see it, mate, because it's been green screened out. What is it?
A hot water bottle.
It's a hot water bottle. Your taters won't get cold, will they? It's amazingly how easily distracted. I mean, by the way, it's just me and JK tonight, because in case you haven't realised, it just shows you how easily distracted we are. We're like a couple of meerkats, aren't we? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Nick Lumley. Hello, Nick. Love it. Thank you so much for the thank you. Love the JK rant last show. Brilliant. 60 years of following the team Euro signs. Yes, I did lose it a bit. Yes.
Yeah, you got a lot of love for your rant. There's a few people that have been writing in saying, mate, you know what? There's Alan, who who I love to pieces, who lives up in North Allerton and is the beneficiary of my Newcastle ticket, because frankly, I do not want to spend 5 hours driving to Newcastle, Winchester, and then driving 5 hours back. So call me a plastic, I don't care.
No, but I'm the same, Chidge. I can't stand sitting up there in the gods watching ants. I just can't. And it's freezing up there as well. Oh,
yeah.
God.
It's taters, mate, up there.
It's hugely taters. Yeah,
It's taters.
Taters in the mould, Chidge. Mouldy taters.
Anyway, do you want to know what Alan said? He was lovely.
Love it.
It was lovely about you. He said, what did he say? I can't find it now. Here we go. P.S. Tell JK not to bite with those social media twats. I love him and his passion. Few people have what he has. And then he said, just let him know that we love him and there's more of us than them.
Thank you.
How about that?
That's fantastic. Thank you. And there are, I know that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You've got a lot of love.
But it's tricky because what gets me for those kind of things is I feel it's sacrilegious. Some bloke just wanders in and sees our show and makes
it is public, mate.
No, hey, I know it's allowed to do that, but nonetheless, an element of respect just to listen. As I said, just ask a question. Don't swear in the question. Don't come across.
Swear.
Don't come across. No, but we've never seen him before. You know, well, let's have a little chat. Let's welcome him. Let's pat him on the head. Let's see what he's like. You know, let's not have this immediate in our faces. You know, so I don't like.
Ignore them.
I know you keep saying this, but and part of me quite likes a little confrontation occasionally. So.
No, it's good to see a bit of passion from you, my love. Anyway,
you never see passion from me ever.
Well, no, we do actually. We see what we don't see is you losing your shit.
Yes, losing my rag.
Yeah. I mean, we see me do that a lot because it's my manner, isn't it?
You said, yeah.
Anyway, so where were we? Yes, Chelsea-fancast.mixlr.com, and as you've already seen, you know, we have people in the chat room, some of whom we like. Occasionally we don't like, as JK has just been explaining, and they come and join us and they talk great stuff, and we often put them up. Why don't we put Nick's? We'll put Nick's post up just to prove that we weren't lying. The good old Nick. I often see Nick in the Cock Tavern. I say judiciously. So there you go. I haven't seen you for a while, Nick. Where have you been? Anyway, there you go. You can join in the show. Basically, it's great, and you can do that on Facebook as well. So there you go. Now, finally, of course, this show may be on YouTube and Facebook right now, but it is actually a podcast. Yes. So what we need you to do is when you've watched this show, listen to it all over again by downloading it and subscribing on Acast, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you download your podcast, because then that would make me very happy. It would make me happy if you leave us a nice review as well, but it's not obligatory. You don't have to. Right. Now, what we're going to do tonight, we're obviously going to be previewing tomorrow night's game against Djurgarden. And of course, that means in a minute, when we've had this little break, JK will be telling us what happened in the presser today. So do not go anywhere. Yes, indeed. Right. Okay. Oh, it's time for a bit of this. I almost forgot. How remiss of me. Oh, what?
Hey guys, Marcos Torres here from Congo Chap.
Some bloke
who?
The Bongos. Marcos Torres. He's probably some kind of footballer. But rhythmology. Marcos Torres plays the bongos.
Okay, so when we get sued, it'll be all your fault.
All my fault. Good old Marcos. I think you're allowed 2 seconds of bongos.
I reckon it's always 7. I always bank on it being 7.
Okay, good.
But anyway, it's now time for JK's presser summary. He watches the press conference, so we don't have to.
Hooray! How lovely.
Do you know what? I did watch a bit of it today.
Oh.
But only a bit.
Can I just, before we start the
yes
presser, with the opportunities that only thee and me,
right.
Did you see the news? The other owner came out of the woodwork. Do you know his name?
Weiss.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and talked a complete load of. This is about building a new ground. Talked a complete load of. It was like you could have gone through the whole interview and gleaned nothing from it at all. And it was about a 5-minute interview, just stated the bleeding obvious all the way through about how we'd have to, if we build a way, we'll have to, if we build a way, we'll have to, if we build at Stamford Bridge, we'll have to move away. I'll get it right. I'll get my
I'm sorry, but somebody's proving, if proof was in fact needed, that I have full-on bloody dementia. This is from Nick replying to my, I haven't seen you for ages, Nick. Yeah, saw you at Fulham, Chidge, shook your hand as you were going up the stairs. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And mind you, to be fair, Nick, I had a few drinks that day. And then some. So maybe that was
yeah. That was the day that we were supposed to meet at half time, and I went to your seat, and you were not nowhere to be seen.
I was getting another drink, mate.
Yeah, I know. I guess.
Oh,
Dear,
if
you're only about 15 rows away from each other. It wasn't a big deal, but I was intrigued. Obviously, you'd gone.
Right, Vice, Miami Vice.
Mr. Vice. Yes, made a statement about the ground that was bizarrely incoherent for somebody worth so much money, and didn't really said how difficult it was going to be to build it, which I found slightly disarming. And then there was subsequently an article by Bowley saying that they'd agreed in the original document, the contract that they'd signed, that they weren't going to build the ground till 2034.
Yeah, but they've only got they've got Chelsea for 10 years.
Right, they've only got 10 years. Then why have they said, because I thought the idea was when he was interviewed even a couple of years ago, saying that was really high on our list of priorities, was to find somewhere, to find a pitch to build it. And he's now saying in a recent interview, it won't be feasible till 2034.
No, 42.
42, you're right. That's right. Sorry, 42.
I worked this out because I should be 78 when that happens. Yeah. I'll almost be as old as you are now.
What? So therefore, they've cocked up over Earl's Court, haven't they?
I don't know.
They haven't put in an application. I mean, who knows?
I don't know, but the disingenuousness of this is staggering. Because number one, the $4 billion they paid for the club was supposed to include the money to build a new stadium.
Yeah,
that was part of the deal. Secondly, Roman had a cast iron plan drawn up by an architect and planning permission.
Yeah.
If Theresa May hadn't fucked him over, basically, because the government fucked him over, but well before they'd sanctioned him, that's why he disappeared off to Israel and didn't come to see Chelsea play for about 3 years, because Theresa May's government punished him for the what's that awful drug poison? Novichok, thank you. They basically punished him for the Novichok thing down in Salisbury.
Yeah.
So that's why it didn't get built. But he had planning permission. Everybody was happy. Everybody liked the look of it, and it didn't get built because of that. So how can they say 2042? For fuck's sake, there was a plan already in place with planning. I know planning permission lapsed because Roman buggered off to Israel, but
you can always renew it, can't you?
Yeah, it's just they gaslight us and bullshit us all the time.
Yeah,
it's staggering. Anybody would have thought that they come from a country where President Trump is the president. It's just staggering. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Kevin says Anderson Earls Court was never a possibility. Well, no, because it's supposed to have already been signed away to the as atriums and shopping centres and the usual conglomerate and lots of housing for what's the word? Not underprivileged, just of housing for everybody essentially. But there was supposed to be a loophole in it. Kevin, where was that Bowley quote, JK? It was the same article about Vice. I'm afraid I don't know.
Bloomberg.
That's exactly right, Chidge. Bloomberg. Chidge has read it better than I have and remembered it better than I have. It just makes me worry more and more that they're more interested in the club as something that they can they can cherry pick players and dosh and sell on, because I think if they got their fingers out, they'd have made an effort with this. So
Matthew makes a good point here. Sorry to butt in, JK.
indeed.
He says the problem may be that build costs have escalated significantly. I mean, actually, now I don't know, but it's also true to say. I mean, the club's official, under the Romans regime, their official reason for not building the stadium was that the costs had doubled in the time that had elapsed between getting the planning permission and backing out. So there may be some, because of course, if you remember, Roman was trying to get some Chinese investment, which was going to help to pay for the stadium. So, all these things are true.
Yeah.
So there we go.
The other thing was that in the article, did they not make out that the CPO had prevented?
No, it's bullshit.
I know what I'm going to say. Prevented Roman from building at Battersea Power Station. What a load of bollocks that was.
The Malaysians who put in a bigger sealed bid than Roman did prevented it from happening.
Absolutely. Right. But I was intrigued just to see once again how the CPO are blamed for something that was nothing to do with them at all. But that was.
Do these people think we're fucking stupid?
Well, the trouble is so many people are stupid about this, and so many people aren't aware of the true facts, that it then paints a picture of how the fans are against the club in some way, which all your DARs are, and they can't wait for us all to die off.
Well, 2042 would do it.
It would do it. It'll do it, won't it? It's 2042. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Anyway, yes. Shall I get on with what I was?
Yes, do get on with it, JK. Please.
A bit more bongos from that bloke.
Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that little chat. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. I thought well, it was some piece of information that I felt that I ought to brung up, as it were. You want a couple more bongos while I'm here? No.
Do you want me to play you some more bongos?
Yeah, can you play me some more bongos?
We can never have enough bongos, really,
never
can we?
Have enough bongos.
Ready?
Absolutely.
1, 2, bongo.
Discover Tassimo's creamy lattes, rich
That's
Americanos,
not
and more.
bongos. That's not bongos.
It wasn't bongos. It was an ad before the bongos.
For fuck's sake. Bloody amateur.
Yeah. Well, complete. I was right the first time, though.
You were.
Well, thank you. Good. Right. Well, I thought I'd give you double bubble tonight and go through a little bit. Ooh, yes. Everybody in the comments. Ooh. And give you the post match after Liverpool, because we don't normally.
We had that on Monday.
No, we didn't go through it all. No, I didn't specifically go through it. We just had a little chat about it. But I thought one of the things he did do, what I felt, because this all folds into the whole way that his press conferences appear to be going, to me, which is that he wants sympathy. He wants to be seen as a nice guy. And at the same time, he talks a lot of bollocks. He goes around in circles. He starts ideas off, and I keep trying to work out what his train of thought is. And I was trying to work out what my angle was on this. And part of it is I'm intrigued.
No. You mean what's your agenda, JK? What's your agenda?
Sorry, it's exactly the word I was groping for. I don't know why I said angle. It was a bit silly. Yeah, my agenda.
He's got an agenda.
Trying to fight. Oh, I got a couple of oohs. I was trying to work out what exactly goes on. Ooh, from Caroline. Trying to work out exactly what goes on in his head. When he answers a question, and how he goes down a route that I almost feel he wished he hadn't started it, or he gets happy with what he's saying, and he's not aware that it doesn't make any sense at all what he's said. Or he repeats himself from the previous question when that wasn't the question that had been asked the second time, but he gets into what he had before as a train of thought. So I keep thinking, is this the kind of man you want managing an elite football club, who doesn't really think? And I get the impression with all the players who come on afterwards to chat, which they do because they've got them appearing now, just say how wonderful his training sessions are and what a wonderful man he is, and what great enthusiasm there is in the training sessions. But it doesn't translate to what we see on the pitch other than at the weekend. So is it like he's like a primary school teacher, and he gets everybody to have a good time with lots and lots of little ideas for training, but with very little application when it comes to the final product? I wonder whether that was it. Sorry, I thought my daughter was coming in, but it wasn't her. Nathan has asked, did he mention wanky tactics? No, funnily enough, he didn't, but I will be mentioning wanky tactics, I think. So he started off in the post-match saying, before we start, can I send condolences to Paul and his family?
Oh, nice touch.
Which was a very good touch. Very good indeed.
Classy.
Very classy. Very good. Good. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to talk about the post-match after Liverpool. And otherwise, he went down the same route we talked about. Was it the old Cole Palmer? And he said he hadn't been happy on the pitch, but he was absolutely fine in training. So training is going, is apparently going well, and they're all having a wonderful time. And the lovely thing about it is Nkunku has got another 2 weeks before he's fit. So preferably, I hope he the whole season elapses before he's ready to go to the Club World Cup setup. But asked about
breaking news. Allez les Bleus, PSG 1, Arsenal 0.
Ah dear. Will they get back from that? I doubt
2-0.
Yep. It's going to be les Bleus contre les Bleus et Noirs in the final, isn't it? Lavia, ovation sensational, says the journalist. What did you think? I mean, and he then uttered the obvious that we've all been saying. We are better with him. Then he said what he tried to do was peddle the injuries line as to one of the reasons why. What I'm getting the impression from him is he's trying to, as we get towards the very end, he's trying to get his excuses in now in case anything goes wrong, Chidge. So he's now mentioned this business about injuries again. We're better with him. Injuries did not help us. Where's Fofana and Nico, the others? So that's one aspect that he's trying to he's trying to meddle. I mean, to be fair, it didn't help. Either of them didn't help, but he still could have attempted to play this more free flowing way.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the other. I mean, it is true to say that we have been damaged by having Lavia, who's clearly a superb player, out for most of the season. We've been damaged by having Fofana out because he's clearly a very good defender. And we were damaged by not having Nico Jackson out for a month or two. And I think Palmer missed a game or two, didn't he? So it's true to say that. But on the other hand, you're an elite manager. You have to deal with that shit. Pochettino, ironically, only came good when he had 11 players to pick from because everybody else was injured. But
he had consistency, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And he did well. He won every game for about this stage of the season, didn't he?
I think intriguingly, the Liverpool game, it was the first time we'd had the same team 2 matches running, 2 Premier League games.
Yeah.
And there is a theory that the more you have a team who are used to each other, the better it is. But what do I know?
Mate.
Last time the journalist said we spoke about a journey. You were, and this was a massive the journey you were on. That's when he talked about the little box. My journey is a little box, which made no sense at all. You were on a massive win, and once again this big mantra: we go game by game, we up and down for part of the season. But I'm happy with my players trying to do their job. So palms it away. Nkunku out for 15 days. Cole do things no one expects. Cole's goal lifted everyone, all players on the same page in way we want to play and create the right culture, which is important. Okay. First time you fielded the same team. Yeah, I've done that bit. Loud celebrations, momentum, game by game, all happy. You need to win games. The environment today was the best environment with the fans. It's what we need every game. And I found that a little bit
snarky.
Exactly the word. Absolutely right. I'm thinking of wanky, I was going to say, and I thought I better not say that. Because if obviously the more they win, the more we're going to love it.
Well, I think it just shows a complete lack of understanding about the culture of modern support. I will qualify it with that. which is more organic and more reactive.
Than that business of get behind the team regardless, which is what
that happened when you and I were young.
Yes, and you'd be told off frequently by somebody if you shouted out something rude about a player. With the older supporter,
well, you get a fucking slap, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking support the team. Get behind the team. Who do you support then? That was said to me. I remember when I was sitting in the West Stand upper once, and I had a go at somebody. The bloke said, "Shut up! Get behind the team. Get behind them." And part of me went, "Well, he's right. He's right." But I think it was Jokanovic or somebody playing. No, in fact, I was downstairs. I was in the middle then. Would have been earlier than that. Who would have been earlier than that? 88. Somebody playing dreadfully. I don't know.
Well,
anyway,
take your pick.
Indeed. Anybody. You're all fucking useless, I shouted out. Oi, get behind a team, mate. How? How do I get behind them? They're all crap, Yeah, I agree, mate, but get behind the team. Anyway, when did those bring cases? I don't know. Teams we asked a terrible question. Teams chasing have the advantage, or those of strange foreign voice. Teams chasing have the advantage, or those being chased. And he just said, I don't know. All I want to do is finish top 5. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get on to the main one, which happened.
We're gonna do. Do you want more bongos, or?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Do you want more bongos?
Please. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, more bongos for JK. Just to never let it be said that I'm not kind to this man.
I'm going to be bongoed out in a sec. Actually.
No, we don't want any bongos from you afterwards, though, because it'll probably be an ad or something.
It will be an ad.
All right.
It'll be.
Do not touch that button. Okay.
No, I'm going to look at it for the future.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, bongo.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm back.
Now we're on today's press conference that you also watched, so I didn't have to.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Now, what was interesting about this one was that nearly everybody asking the questions wasn't anywhere near any. Well, his mic was great.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So amateurish.
Oh, God. And it's just to deduce what was being asked. The beginning was okay. He was asked, how did Cole celebrate his birthday? Who gives a fuck?
With a great big fucking cake, mate.
And how important is winning this competition and top 5 of the Premier League? Well, let's cram it all in. A birthday, winning the competition, top 5 of the Premier League. Yes, he answered. We tried to win it. But he's not going to say, no, we're not going to win it. Next step is we reach the final. Yes, we know. Cole, we had a session. We had a training session. I don't know, but he's in a good mood. Meaningless. Caicedo, Player of the Year. Will his contract be improved? I mean, for fuck's sake, he's gonna say, I don't know anything about contracts. What a stupid.
What he did say.
Funnily enough, it's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
He's going to say it. Well, why did he ask a stupid question? Why is he interested in? He's not going to know anything. Yes, he's so good. We're giving him 8 years. How does he? He won't know. Well, he might.
No. He's so good. We're going to give him the keys to the City of London.
Yes, they will. Yes. He's taking my job. Great. That'll be good. Moy is doing well. Humble is a very good example. Contract, not the moment to talk. Focus. Finish season in a good way. Fair enough. I was on his side then. Asked a question. Another stupid question. Well, these are the ones I heard. They're all stupid so far. I've got a double page here, Chidge. Hang on a second. How important is winning? How important is winning this trophy to you? Oh, God. Anyway, he gave an interesting reply with an old chestnut. Very important. The main reason, because we want this club to win trophies. In this moment, we are in the conference. In the moment we are in the conference, we have to try to win the trophy in the competition that we are in. Yes, okay, obvious shit. But anyway, important for the club and the fans. It's the only trophy that, once again, the old chestnut comes in, which has obviously been fed by his PR guy. It's the only trophy Chelsea didn't win. We can become the first club in Europe, win all European competitions. So good for the club. And personally, this is an interesting argument, Chidge. Do you think it's a good thing for the club to be seen to win the Conference League? I think it means, oops, we're not very good. But he will get onto it later because he thinks he does the Mourinho thing about any trophy is good because
No, I'm inclined to. I mean, let's have it out. Let's have it right out now. Let's have it out now, shall we?
yes, let's
All right, let's have it out.
go on then.
I've got the minerals. I mean, yeah, I'm inclined to take the Mourinho stance on this. I mean, I said at the beginning of the season, I mean, to be fair to me, I have been consistent all season saying, yes, it's an utterly stupidly ridiculous, pathetic excuse of a competition. It is a Mickey Mouse Cup, but it has significance for us because if and when we win it, we will be the only club to have won every single European trophy. And for me, that has cachet. And the reason it has cachet is that I can go around singing all next season, we've won it all, we've won it all. And I like doing that. So therefore, it's worth winning.
But you can sing we've won it all, knowing that the Conference League is a complete Mickey Mouse competition.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to be in it to win it.
I don't want to be in it again. But as we are in it, I want to win it.
Okay. But this is the first and last time.
I shall allow this only once.
Yes. Okay. Good idea. Yeah. Jack Davy has put, I don't like Maresco, but his English is brilliant. He doesn't speak like this.
I don't know what you mean, Jack. JK's quoting verbatim here.
I'm quoting completely verbatim.
Verbatim.
Yes, Jack. Absolutely. I'm even putting the mistakes in. Matthew Anderson, would you prefer the League Cup or the Conference? Give me the League Cup every time.
Oh no! Do you know what? Right now, I'd rather have the Conference because I want us to win it all.
And we're not in the League Cup.
Yeah, and we've won that. We've won that.
Yeah, we won that many times before. We won it in 1965, Chidge. And I saw.
Okay, this is getting now. Okay, it's like Monty Python. I'm sorry, but this is getting far too silly. Bat Night has taken it up to the next level. What if UEFA, in their quest for money, create a new table position 7th, 8th, 9th? Would we want to win that too? Of course I would, because I want us to win it all.
And the chances are we'll be in it next year if they invent it now.
We're all right. We're going to get top 5, mate. I feel it in my bones.
And if we didn't, we would then be in this extra competition.
I don't know, mate. It's so complicated.
It could be Conference League Tier 2.
I mean, these people, right, who are digging me out, I love you all, have very short memories because, okay, I accept that some of you were not alive then, but I seem to recall in the alive. I seem to recall that some of us were very excited that we had won the Zenith Data Systems Trophy and the Full Members Cup. Many of us talk about this with misty eyes to this day. Was that a nonsensical, stupid tournament? Yes.
Can I just say that grumpy and bar humbug-ish as I always have been. I
didn't go to those because they weren't a proper
I
trophy.
went to the Full Members Cup under duress. Constantly saying to everybody I was with, the group I was with, this is a fucking meaningless competition created by Bates.
Well, exactly.
By Peter Swales. Only about 6 clubs from the first division have entered it. And it's all a complete waste of time. However, I revelled in the victory, of course, at the time, as you do, but didn't come away thinking, that's wonderful, isn't it? I thought, moan, mumble, but was quite happy to be impressed by actually having won something and going to Wembley. Tomo, it's still my belief UEFA invented the conference just to spite us Chelsea fans, going on about we've won it all, the bastards. Yes.
He could be right. He could be right.
Anyway, so let's carry on with this pile of poo. As I said, it can become the first club in Europe to win all European competitions, so good for the club. If you win this and don't get the Premier League, or get the Premier League but not this, which is more of a success? Oh, for fuck's sake, what a stupid question.
Who has asked that question?
Once again, I don't know. It was all about to turn it up. And he said, yes, and to be fair, he said, he went sort of...
Your father was a hamster and your mother stank of elderberries, you stupid English people.
Indeed. He said, I don't think about this. Game by game is mantra. Yeah. Game by game. Fair enough. How important that you don't mess with the momentum tomorrow night? Well,
tough because I'm going to.
Yes. Hopefully the Warsaw experience, not good enough. Hopefully that he was confused by going, what, Warsaw. And I keep thinking, who are they? Who we played them? It's Warsaw. Legia, you should call them. Warsaw experience, not good enough. Hopefully that experience will help us. We're going to try to win tomorrow. Fucking hope so. And build momentum. Legia home was not standard we require. Yes,
That's quite right.
we know. I agree. Inaudible.
It's glad that he acknowledges that, though, to be fair.
It was about injuries. Clearly about injuries, because his response was no injuries, and Mark Gue may be included. Very close, but then again, he may not. Oh, thanks for that. Inaudible. Moi is a 6. Moy is a 6. The last game, but he then was fullback off the ball. Enzo, we try to get more goals. He's improved, but he should score 10 to 15. Romeo is a 6. With all players fit, it's a better team. We agree. Inaudible. It's important to convince the players there are no easy games. All games tricky. If, for example, Volvo, we tried to win it. I consider Pellegrini as my dad. Ooh. Talked about Fiorentina, obviously. I was there with him for 2 years as a player, 2 as a coach. I phone him every day. Ooh. We speak, I think, every day. I phone him a lot. I played 1 season at Fiorentina, but we have to beat Djurgarden first. My best winning mentality was with Juventus. Even their training, the small games. So they went for it. They all kicked each other, in other words. Winning a trophy is nice. And this is the bit about the Mourinho thing. You learn how to win. Chelsea is a big club with major trophies, but this group need to learn how to win with this squad. Which is true. He's right. Absolutely agree. He's right. So there was bits he's saying that are absolutely fine. Anyway, I try to convince the players to have a winning mentality. We start from playoffs. We start from the playoffs, which of course they did in the Conference League. He wanted to give the impression that it was really difficult. If you remember, we played the worst team in the world in the playoff. I think possibly one of the worst fixtures.
Who were they? Do you remember?
I have no idea, but we won.
I think they began with an S.
S. Shitarama FC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shitu FC.
Yeah. So we had to win this competition from the very. And he said a wonderful statement.
Nathan, of course, we knew we'd have Rain Man in the house.
Well done,
Servette. Yeah. Thank you, Serviettes. Well done. Yeah. Thanks, Nathan.
And he said we have to win the competition we are in, and then said a great phrase that will go down in history and goes with his little box journey thing. The reality is the reality.
Of course,
it is. And then. When Romeo fit, Enzo plays most of the games. He does anyway. I suppose he's up and down. What he meant was he goes for Romeo and Moy. We support Romeo and Moy support Enzo better. Enzo dropped with Moy to help him defend when Lavia wasn't playing. With Romeo fit, they're all better players. I'm inclined to agree with that.
Yeah, totally right.
He clearly is unbelievably important. That's what
I think the corollary of that, JK, is that to also add to the fact that he is correct in his analysis, is that when Lavia plays in midfield, it does allow Fernandes to go further forward. He's much better further forward because he can't defend. I mean, the number of times this year I said, he runs in lead boots. When he's tracking back and he can't tackle and all this kind of stuff. So
he gets back and lets the player go past him.
He's not good defensively, but he's good going forward.
Kevin said, where does that leave Reece, though? I think that's a very good point. Where does that leave Reece? Because he doesn't need him for a fullback. He's going to
pure profit, Kevin. Pure profit.
Yeah. Can we honestly say, though, that we think Reece is going to retain the level that he had when he played fullback? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm still seeing him slightly clunky when he plays.
I think the barometer possibly is that when he played as a right back for England and scored that cracking free kick, he was superb. He looked like Reece James that we know and love, bombing up and down.
Yes,
and he was fine. Now, okay, you could say, well, they were playing a shit team, but they weren't. Albania are no mugs at the moment, so it's difficult to say, isn't it? But he looked like he could play like we used to see him play. So it's chicken and egg, isn't it? Are they protecting him because they don't want him to get injured by putting in that much? Or are they just deliberately putting him in midfield to protect him? Or are they going to sell him? I mean, we just don't know, do we? But I mean, I think on the evidence that I saw in that England game, I don't see why he can't play that way. But of course, we know that Maresca does not play with up and down wing-backy type fullbacks. He plays with inverted fullbacks.
Yeah. Even though
So Reece doesn't suit his system.
Yeah, even though the team that's just won the division, the Premier League, plays the way that Reece would revel in. So it looks to me as if Liverpool will make a bid then, won't they? Particularly if Trent has disappeared. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he'll be sold to Liverpool.
Pure profit, mate. Count the money. Lovely.
Yeah.
I say with irony in case people think I'm serious.
I heard a statement winning Conference League, which a statement winning the Conference League. Important. Only club in Europe, blah, blah, blah. We've had this. And a way to start and build a winning mentality for the squad. Yes. We know we've had this. You're just repeating yourself. Yes. But anyway, now we then had a bit of a monologue from your man. And the problem with when he does monologues is he seems to lose his thread and comes across as a bit of a twat. So forgive me if I just read what he said, because he does come across as being peculiar. I've written here, he's got his Mr. Logic hat on for this one, and it's not a very good look, I've put. And he was asked a slightly leading question. Could this mean Chelsea are back? He was asked, yes, but it's a trophy that Real Madrid won't have. Should they be envious? Which, of course, is a sort of slightly tricky question to be posed if you don't really know the answer. Because in reality, I would say, well, yes, it's slightly embarrassing we're in it because Real Madrid will never, ever, ever be in it. But one of the reasons they won't be in it is they'll never. The likelihood of them finishing fifth in their league is minimal, because if they do happen to have a bad season and don't go into the Champions League, which is hugely unlikely, they'll be in the Europa League. So the chances of them ever being in the Conference League are zilch, in my view.
Well, we only got in it this year because bloody United won the FA Cup.
Indeed.
So we got bumped down into it. To be fair,
that's right. That's true. He says, for me, winning the Conference League is a statement to say that yes, we are back. But first of all, you have to win the trophy. Yes, we know that. If Madrid and different clubs don't play conference, it's because they didn't deserve to play conference. Oh,
they're in the Champions League, love.
It's because they're in the Champions League. If we play conference, it's because where we are.
Yeah,
we need to start from there.
Well, that's not true, because actually we should have been in the Europa League. But as I said, Man United won the FA Cup, so we got bumped down. So he's wrong.
Nobody. He's playing with that argument because it suits we have had a better season than last season.
Yeah.
If you play conference, you cannot win Champions League. Yes, because we're in the Conference League. If you play conference, the only trophy you win is the conference.
Got to be in it to win it.
But once again, I thought, what the fuck are you talking about? But we are going to try our best tomorrow to reach the final. Well, it's practically a foregone conclusion, you numpty. It's a good starting point to start, to build, to win games and trophies. Second game versus Legia. Strong team we put out. We try for every game to start with the best 11. Now, the Legia side was not a strong team. He put two players in.
I would contest that, because
there were big changes. Other than
there were a lot of changes.
Palmer and
there
Jackson.
were a lot of changes, but as I said, you cannot say that starting Palmer and Jackson is starting as a weakened team.
No, but the rest of the team was not the Chelsea first team. It had.
Well, he put out a stronger team than I was suggesting.
But indeed, but he then put out the four in the second half, didn't he? None of whom affected the game whatsoever. He changed it around that way. But anyway, the the ones who we think are the best 11 will play tomorrow, but they're for us. So what he means is he'll pick a team tomorrow that is his best 11, but won't be our best 11. It'll be a best 11. It'll be a team to beat them, which, my view, in fact, was that we played a lot better in the first half. We played badly. It was the second half we played badly against Legia. I thought we were terrible.
It was, yeah.
So, and that was nearly all I felt they could. Even I actually felt the same about the game against Djurgarden. The first one is the first half, 6 changes, whatever it was, actually played better than the second half. We got 2 goals in the second half due to mistakes. But in the second half, even with the team change round, I didn't think we were hugely up to it. But anyway, it just goes to show the level of incompetence in the teams we're playing. Once again, last question. Tomorrow is the game for me. No big time for recovery for Newcastle game. So we'll be trying to be ready for tomorrow's game and for Sunday. Well, we know that.
Yeah, because he'll change. Well, as you will find out in a minute from me, I suspect he'll make a much changed team.
A much changed. Because by any chance, do you have your possible team for tomorrow?
I do, but you're going to have to wait.
Oh, no. Why?
Because we're going to talk about CFC UK, then we're going to have a break, and then I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
But well done. Well summed up, mate. I enjoyed that. Right, now, as I just said not 1 second ago, you can still buy, I believe, this wonderful, the greatest fanzine known to man, CFC UK. I write for it, as do many other people, and it's always worth a read. So, I mean, you have really, if you want a hard copy, get it when you go to a match. But do not worry, if you can't get to a match, you can subscribe on an annual basis by emailing cfcuk21@gmail.com. And the prices for that will be 20 quid in the UK, 45 quid in Europe, 60 quid for the rest of the world. If you'd rather have a PDF emailed to you digitally, then it's 6 quid a year or £1 each. You pay all that via PayPal to the same email address, which is cfcuk21@gmail.com. And the other thing that we like to blather on about, as you all know, is the wonderful CPO. It's very important that if you love Chelsea and you want Chelsea to be around many years hence, and you have got its best interests at heart, then I suggest humbly that you get a Chelsea pitch owner's share, because what that will do is it will give you a voice whenever the club decide to do something regarding Stamford Bridge, whether they move away or if they rebuild. They have to go to the Chelsea pitch owners with a proposal, and the CPO shareholders then vote on it. And if 75+% vote in favour of what the club suggests, then that's what will happen. And if not, then they have to go away and think again. So it's well worth having, because you get a democratic say in what's going on. And it is democratic. Anybody can buy a share. That means anybody can have their say, rather than tweet utter wank on social media. Right, so the prices for shares are 125 quid for an electronic share, 130 quid for an unframed share, 140 for a framed share, and 190 for a signed and framed share. And that one, in fact, is signed by Frank Lampard, as is my share. So there you go. Ooh, exactly. So there you go. Now you want to get one? No problem. Probably the easiest thing to do is just to go to the chelseafc.com website and then put in Chelsea pitch owners in the search bit, and it'll take you to where you need to be. It's that simple. And if you want, yes, merch. I forgot to tell you about the merch, didn't I? They have merch. They do indeed. And they've got a new line in merchandising, including this absolutely filthily brilliant badge, Chelsea pitch owners badge. That'll cost you £5, but they also have t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, polo shirts, baseball hats, all that kind of razzmatazz. That's chelseapitchowners.shop. So there you go. Don't be shy. The other thing is, of course, when you buy merch from them and shares from them, it helps to pay down the 10 million loan, which I think is about 8 million now. I don't know, I could be wrong, but the Bates loaned the CPO the money to buy the ground on the basis that they have to make best endeavours to pay that loan down, which is what they're doing. So there you go. Right, now we're going to have a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the game tomorrow against Djurgarden. See you in a sec.
Real fans, real opinions. I'm Jason Cundy, and you're listening to Chidge and the boys on the Chelsea Football Fancast. Total nutters and proper Chelsea.
Footballfancast.com.
Welcome back. Oh, I didn't. How did that happen? I didn't make that happen. I didn't press that button.
I was taken aback by that. It was a bit premature.
So was I. It freaked me out a bit. Hello, welcome back. This is the Chelsea Fancast, the preview show. I am Stamford Chidge. He is Jonathan Kidd. How are you, dear?
Very good, thank you. A bit cold.
Are you a bit cold? Got your beanie hat on. You'll be premature, says David Plotzer. No shit, Sherlock. There's his hot water bottle for those. Why haven't you got a Chelsea hot water bottle?
Good point. I must buy one.
Yes.
Yeah, very good idea. Good idea.
Yeah, indeed. Now, we've had the press summary, and now this is the part where we actually think about tomorrow night's game and what may or may not happen. And of course, in traditional style, we kick that off with my team selection. Well, I say mine. This is what I think Maresca will pick. Okay, so Jorgensen in goal, Gusto as left back, Badiashile, Tosin centre backs, a Chompong right back. James and Dewsbury Hall in midfield, George on the left wing, Fernandes is the number 10, Sancho on the right, and Jackson up front. He may tinker with that, play Madueke and Sancho or Madueke and Neto and have George up front. But we've seen a pattern with him. If he thinks players are out of form, he might use this as a good example to get Jacko back into form. I mean, arguably, you could say, well, he has scored 3 goals in 3 games, so he's not in bad form. But I've just got a hunch he might start Jacko, but I could be wrong. What do you think, JK?
I don't think he'll play Jackson. I think he'll play George up there. I think he'll. It'd be a good idea to play Jackson just because he's still a bit rustic, isn't he? He's a bit rusty and rustic. I felt he had a very poor game against Liverpool. He was the only one who played ineptly. Couldn't seem to time anything, couldn't keep the ball, kept giving the ball away. So perhaps this is the game to play him, to see if he can play himself back in. I know he scored a cracker the other day against Everton, but that was amidst missing several others and still falling over a lot. And the one thing he did, of course, against Liverpool was he got offside a lot. Well, he got offside through not being asked to walk back, to run back. Just stuck where he was and the ball being passed to him. I found that. And also on a couple of other occasions, looking down the line and still being offside, which is slightly unforgivable. But, what do you do? But yeah, I would. Acheampong, I think, deserves his berth, Berth. Tosin needs a game. Badiashile, who I'm not convinced should remain with the club anymore, will play, and Gusto needs a run out, doesn't he? Stately Home still never convinced me he's anything but a squad player and a championship player, regardless of how Maresca tries to big him up. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I think we've given him a season. I'm not getting that he's good enough, but he's good enough for this team tomorrow. And I think you're absolutely right, Chidge. You'll give James a go. I'm trying to think who else could have a go. Who else is? What would they give? Would they give Reginald a go? Would Reggie play from the beginning?
Reggie?
Would he play from the beginning? I don't think he would. I don't think he'd do.
He won't start Reggie or Mweka. Or Raksaki seems to have disappeared off the scene, having looked quite good in midfield. Oh,
but I wonder whether what's the reason for that? Is he just decided that he's not good enough? What is it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
We absolutely agree because he seemed to be quite competent the early rounds of the Conference League. Do you think he'll play Fernandes? Do you think he'll play a first teamer just to?
He tends to. But I mean, the thing is, if you discount Raksaki and Reggie,
who is there?
Yeah. If you don't play Lavia, which you won't, and you give Moises a rest, which you should.
Lavia's not in the squad. He's not.
Well, that's true. Of course, that's absolutely true. But I mean, you got to give. I mean, I'm picking that team personally with an eye on Sunday, which is the more important game.
Yes, entirely.
You want to protect Colwill. You want to protect Cucurella. Absolutely. You want to protect Moises.
You put them on the subs bench, but I don't think you'll bring any of them on if we just
Lavia, you want to protect,
if we just score a couple. Well, I say Lavia doesn't even. He's not in the.
No. But you know what I mean. I mean, you want to protect them for Sunday, because Sunday, frankly, in spite of my desire to win this competition, is A, the more important game, and B, we're 4-1 up against a team that proved nowhere near as good as us last week. So that should be good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, and we're defeated with a team that was mostly these players last week. So I think that's pretty reasonable, Chidge. I'm just trying to think of any other Ute or people that we've not thought of who could play.
Oh, David's got one. Well done, David.
Yeah, Amoka, very, very good, David.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
Might play in midfield and then bring him on. I doubt it, though. I think you're right, Chidge. I think he'll play Enzo, who seems to be quite invulnerable, really, when it comes to injuries. Seems to go pretty well. He'll play him for a half. I think he'll mix and match in the second half, depending on what the score is. If it's 0-0, he might keep them going to the 75th minute, and then I mean, I don't think he'll, as long as we don't lose. I think he'd be happy just to draw it, because then we've got to the final, So,
well, I don't like that as much as you don't like it, but I can understand the logic, really. I mean, if you're a manager, I suspect what you do is you go into this match thinking it's half time. Yeah, it's half time and we're 4-1 up. So we protect what we have, which is what you would possibly do if it really was half time. But I mean, the trouble with these European games, I mean, if we score first tomorrow, then it really is, thank you very much, Djurgarden, off you jolly well fuck. If they score, then it's only 4-2, and they get hope. It's infuriating.
The standard is such that if they did get hope, we'd have no problem scoring another. I just don't.
Well, I mean, surely we can't screw this up, really, can we?
No, there's not any doubt about that. No, we're in the final. It's just a question of turning up and playing competently with the team he selects, who I think, regardless if he selects complete B team, we'd still be so much better than them. So,
well, as has been proved all the way through, and I don't think your Gordon have shown themselves to be any better than anybody else we've played so far, and we've beaten everybody we've played comprehensively in this competition.
Yeah, so I thought even Legia were better than Djurgarden. Who was the team? Was it Hoffenheim we played who actually kept scoring?
They gave us a game, didn't they?
Yeah, they were offside every time.
Yeah.
I think that was the best competition that we had.
Yeah,
one game away, but even then they weren't good enough at the bridge. None of these teams is good enough, Chidge. That's the base for it, which is as it should be, really, because it's the lowest tier European competition, not made for us. It's supposed to be made for teams with smaller budgets who finish third and fourth in their respective divisions. The fact that we our league is so competitive means that we're already light years ahead of them in money spent and ability of players. So
I mean, the one thing that has occurred to me is that as they actually showed bizarrely in the second half last week, they might give it a right go, Djurgarden, because I mean they have got nothing to lose.
Yep.
So they might just say, fuck it, let's go at it. I would, if I was their manager, I'd be saying, you know what? I'd rather us have a real go, give them a bloody nose, than just sit there trying to defend and defend a 4-1 deficit. I mean, what kind of twat would do that?
And they did make a big comeback last round, 4 goals, according to David Foster.
But that was against a shit team, clearly.
Against Tin Tac Rovers, yeah.
No, it was Rapid VN, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sorry about that, Rapid, yeah.
But anyway, look, I mean, we all know that Chelsea Football Club have a much bigger problem playing against sides who defend with 11 behind the ball than they do against teams who come and have a go. So if Djurgarden do have a right go, I'm wondering, JK, if that might play into Chelsea's hands somewhat, because it might leave a lot of space for us to attack.
Of course it will. Yeah. Was it Caroline's point? I keep hearing if United or Spuds win the Europa League, they get Champions League. Does that take one of the 5 spots? So the 5th place will be in Europa next year. I don't believe that's the case. No.
That means there'll be 6 English teams in the Champions League.
Yes.
I believe. So, if they do have a go, do you think that will play into our hands?
Yes. I think everything plays into our hands, Chidge. If they do the low block, it means they're not coming forward. They're going to just try and rely on a counter attack, which I think we'd mop up pretty easily. So I don't give them much hope at all, regardless of them having come back against Rapid Vienna. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he manages it tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, there's some interesting stats, as there always are. We're actually, we've hit a bit of form, to be fair. We've won 4 games, our last 4 games. And we've won each of our last 3 home games against Swedish opposition by an aggregate of 8-0. So expect goals. Djurgarden, on the other hand, they're not. They've got 1 win from their past 4 games in all competitions, drawn 2, lost 1. Last time out they drew 1-1 against Stockholm. And here we go. Here is the wonderful flash score pointless stat. This is a completely pointless stat, which I love to read out. Chelsea have progressed from all 16 previous European ties when they have won the first leg away from home. What a fucking waste of ink. I mean, what?
No, really, isn't it? Don't you think?
Well, I suppose so. I mean, it's just so meaningless stat. All right, old Bean. One thing we should say, we've got the singing section part 3 tomorrow night,
which I've been asked to video. That I was asked for my the shot that I took of it at the last game against Legia, which I was pleased to do, and I just did it because I was intrigued by it and put it up on TikTok, and I'm about to lose my TikTok account, by the way.
How?
For infringing copyright. I've infringed the Premier League copyright by taking a picture of Romeo Lavia just wandering around without the ball for 20 seconds.
When I used to make TV, and I used to do a lot of football programs, as you know, the golden rule was never film anything green.
Intriguing.
I.e. the pitch.
Yeah.
You could film the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, but in doing that, you also had to probably avoid the advertising barriers, advertising hoardings, which you could do if you were filming the shed upper.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Premier League will fuck with you if you film anything on the pitch because they own the copyright.
They're now retrospectively going back through my videos and finding anything they don't like and banning and suspending the video. And if you get 5 in a month, that the account is suspended. So I've had 4, and then they just went back to Leicester, the Chelsea-Leicester game, and found something. They found a picture of Enzo bobbing about. But I've noticed that if you take a picture of the back of somebody's head and then take a picture of the pitch and then put music over the top of it, they tend to be less inclined to say you've infringed their copyright. But I've taken so much that I don't know what I've done, No, so,
but they will say you've infringed their copyright if what you have filmed looks in any way like match coverage. Yeah.
So when I'm competent, it's the worst thing to be, because it means that it looks as if it's just a camera that has illegally photographed one of their one of the things that, as you say, is their domain. But so that's about to disappear. But one of the things they couldn't take away is, for example, a picture of the singing section, a video of the singing section, which I did last time. So I'm going to do it again tomorrow night. Funny enough, I don't think they have a problem with obviously, because it's a different broadcaster tomorrow night. So nobody's come near me for doing any of the Conference League games.
You know what we should do? We should countersue the Premier League when they show us on screen or on TV at football matches.
Yeah.
I own my image rights. You don't.
Yeah.
So don't fucking film me. Did you ask my permission to be filmed?
Yeah.
No, you fucking didn't.
Absolutely.
Now, when I used to film the public, as in they walked into a
You
shot
gave them a release.
incidentally.
Sign a release form.
No. Didn't have to do
blur
that.
You blur them out.
Nope. I would put a notice saying we are filming in this location today. If you do not want to be on film and you don't want to, if you don't want to be on film, then don't walk in front of the fucking camera.
Wow.
Because if you do, the fact that we have this notice up here says that you have given us permission to film. And do you know what I used to do?
What?
I used to put it up on the wall, film it, and then take it down. I was a good producer, mate.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. And everybody said, "Oh no, I didn't see it." I said, "Well, it was there. I've got it on camera."
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate.
I was also known as the king of the fair deal. Okay, do you know what fair dealing is?
If somebody was making a noise near the camera, you would hand them a tenner. No.
No, it's if you were making a program and you nicked somebody else's material. So we used to do this when I was working for Nuts TV because we had no rights to anything. So what we used to do is we used to record some of the footage from the match off air, okay, and show it. But we would show it as a news piece, and we would have a tightly written script that was sanctioned by the compliance department, and I would make these idiot presenters read it out verbatim. And we would say, we would name check if it was Sky or whoever in those days, because you were allowed to. Fair dealing allows you to use clips of other people's material in a news context.
I'm in fact got the same problem with my father's clips for the documentary I'm trying to make about him. Fair usage, I think they call it there. But, I've got to somehow encapsulate it. I've got to bracket it in a way that it's clearly educative or following his career rather than gratuitously just stick it up on on the screen. It's going to be quite tricky because I phoned Canal Plus for one of the films, and this guy could see pound signs, and he said, well, it's going to cost you about $5,000, and it was about a 20-second clip, So I thought, well, hang on, I want to use about 70 out of my father's 290 films. So that at that rate is going to cost me, 210,000. No, what am I talking about? 2,100,000. So no, 21,000, 210,000. So it wasn't. It's not looking too good at the moment. But another mate of mine, a filmmaker, said just make it and then cross that hurdle a little later on. Just see
what I would do.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Jonathan and Chidge's lecture on making television programs and films. I hope you've all enjoyed it half as much as we have. Back to the football.
Are they subscribed to that? Isn't this the subscribe bit? Are they supposed to?
This is premium content, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's over and above the football banter.
Yeah.
It's well over and above the drivel and pointless analysis.
Oh.
Talking of which, we need to stick a number on this here. No, I was talking about the singing section, wasn't I? Yeah, we've got the singing section tomorrow. You're going to film it. Yeah. I'm going to be in there making a racket. I've managed to get Sasha a ticket. He's not in block 4, but he is in the shed upper. So I'm hoping that he can squeeze in with me and make a racket. He'll love that. I'm so chuffed I've got him a ticket because he's 19, well, nearly 19. And I mean, when I bumped into him after the game on Saturday, when was it? Sunday? He was hoarse. And he'd been sitting in the West Lower, so probably the only person singing, really. But so he's going to love it being in a singing section. He's going to absolutely love it. I might even teach him a few new songs. So there you go. So
I hope they're not very loud, Djurgarden.
Oh, they will be. This is the huge irony about the singing section has been that it's pitted us against probably 3 of the loudest bunch of supporters we're ever likely to see. I mean, we had Copenhagen, they were Danish, they make a racket. We had the Poles, who are, Polish, and they make a racket. And now we've got the Swedes tomorrow, and he was making a racket. Kevin has quite rightly, corrected me on my snarky comment about the West Lower. Oh no, he wasn't, Chidge. No, you're quite right, Kevin. I'm being a bit naughty, and I should shut the hell up, shouldn't I? But thank you for pointing it out. So, it's a bit of an irony that the 3 games we've had the singing section for have been really difficult because we've been up against them. But I think the attitude and the philosophy of everybody in there is that bollocks to whoever we're up against. We're just going to make a real racket anyway because that's the point. And, You know, Richard and Alex, who we had on the show recently, they need to be thoroughly commended for their efforts there. It's so much fun being part of it. You know, it really, really is, you know.
Are you going to invent any more songs, do you think, Chidge? Because you invented the Tyreek George song, didn't you?
No, I didn't invent that. Somebody far clever.
I mean, somebody else, but it's
Me and Mark Meehan invented the Dewsbury Hall song.
What was that one?
We've got Dewsbury Hall, and he's worth fuck all, which was a bit naughty from me afterwards, but you know, you know me, I can't help it. Anything for a good gag. So the singing section will be out in force tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm so lucky that I can go tomorrow, because normally I have clients which would preclude me from going, but they've had the decency to not be around tomorrow, so it means I can go. And it will be my last home match of the season, JK.
Yes, it will, because you can't make the United game.
Can I do United?
No, and United's the last one, isn't it? Yeah.
No, but I am going to Forest away, so there is that.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm meeting up with Cliff actually at a pub just outside of Nottingham, if you fancy that. But I don't know what your travel plan.
It'll be a car, I suspect.
Yeah. Okay. I bet this is kind of off-air chat, so I'm going to shut up. Right, stick a number on tomorrow, mate.
2-1.
2-1 to your Gordon?
No, to us.
Okay, just checking, JK. You never quite know with you. 2-1. Yeah, 3-1 for me. 3-1 for me. I think. I don't think it'll be. I don't think he will allow the team to do a Legia again, where they were utterly complacent. I think that. I mean, you know, when he says, "I like to see this happen because they learn from it." I mean, in some respects, he's right. I know we don't like it, but you know, they are young and inexperienced, and sometimes you need to go through those to learn. And basically taking their foot off the gas and being utterly complacent against Legia, they got bit on the arse. So,
do you think he's managed to change the narrative in the last few games because we've played better? Do you think he's shifted in his approach through changing his tactics? Do you think that also he's come across better in the press conferences? Because I detect a little bit of consistency, and the very fact we went through, other than the monologues that he seems to state the bleeding obvious, he wasn't so silly, and he wasn't panicking. I didn't get panic, which I've had before from him, because they're playing well. Do you think that there's an element of reinvention, and he could justify then staying on? Because I was intrigued to see on London is Blue them saying that the
what
London is Blue.
What's that?
I don't know. It was just a 30-second extract from some podcast that came up on my Insta feed. I don't know. A couple of Americans, one guy with white hair talking, and another guy. Anyway, but the theory that came through was that he'd come up with three rather good ideas. One of which was
hang on, who came up with the ideas?
Maresca.
Oh, right.
This about Maresca somehow being good, suddenly being a very good manager, which was the angle that I'm beginning to hear from people. I've had somebody even argue with me about my fan bite, not in a rude way, just saying, I don't think that Maresca is as unintelligent and bad as you do, Jonathan. I think the season he'll be vindicated, which is a very interesting shift from where we all were about 6 weeks ago. But the theories were that Tyreek George was an inspired substitution against Fulham. And my argument would be he wasn't going to bring Nkunku on because Nkunku has been so absolutely useless, and he wanted some movement up front. So that was pretty obvious that he would do that. But they were saying it was inspired and it won us the game. And there were two others, neither of which I can remember, which has meant the argument's ridiculous. But the idea being that he is actually a very astute manager, and we've got him wrong.
Oh, we may. I mean, look. Here's the thing, right? Football has always been a results business. So if he wins the Conference League Cup and he gets us into the Champions League, albeit fifth is a normally you have to get fourth to do that. Let's say he gets fourth, which would be even better. Then you have to say well done and applaud it, because that's what we expect at Chelsea Football Club. So that's number one. It's a results business. So if you get the right results, you got to give him some credit. However, it's not just a results business. Sarri's a good example of that. You know, if you deliver utterly turgid, fucking dull, negative football, then you can fuck off, because it's not what I want to watch on a Saturday. And he has been guilty of that for a long time.
But he's just suddenly, because they were saying, in fact, the implication being from one of the interviews with the players, that he changed the tactic, that he tactically presented them with what to do against Liverpool, and kicking long.
Fair play if he did.
Absolutely.
Fair play.
Absolutely. But then what is this change? What is this shift? How does he explain this to the sporting directors?
I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the managers that I like most are those who are pragmatic, who take each game as it comes and will change their tactics accordingly, and also will do that in game if they're not working. That's what I like. I like pragmatic managers who will find solutions. I don't like philosophy managers who sit there and say, no, that's how we play, mate. I'm not doing it, because that basically just means you're a fuckwit. I mean, and you know, not got a clue is one. Russell Martin is another. You know, you could go on and on and on and on, because they're searching for a holy grail of eventually their fucking one-eyed, unchanging tactics will one day work, while we have to suffer in the fucking, you know, run until it works.
We're not an experiment. We're a team that needs to be
about winning football matches.
Absolutely.
So I don't like that. But if he's prepared to change, become more pragmatic, then I'm up for that, because it means that we'll be competing, and that's what I want to see, you know. I mean, Liam, who, as we know, is a very bright chap and has no particular agenda, from what I know about Liam, said that actually the kind of quick passing and movement that we saw on Sunday against Liverpool is actually the kind of style he wants to play at Chelsea. And if you think about City, you know, that's kind of how they played when they were at their peak, and maybe that's what he's trying to do. But the one thing I think Liam might have missed on that, I mean, he didn't make a comparison to City, to be fair to Liam, but we also know that City would try and walk the ball into the net, and that just makes me want to punch people. You know, have a fucking shot if the opportunity's there. You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see them trying to create opportunities and take them, not pass into the net, because it doesn't work a lot of the time unless you're really, 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 really good, and I don't think we are. I mean, I like the fact that he's brought a lot of youngsters through. I mean, this is something to applaud him for, which we tried to do the other night. He's brought a lot of academy players through, which I think is a good thing. So, you know, I think if I was to be fair, I don't think he's as bad as we have said he is, or we have thought he is when we get very upset and emotional about it. But I don't think he's, you know, he's unproven. You know, he's his first year in the...
He's inexperienced, yes, completely.
Yeah, it's his first year in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay, if he gets top 5, then fair play, well done. Now do it again and get us third. Now do it again and get us second. Now go into the Champions League and play well in that. You know, that's the point. He's unproven at this level.
Yeah.
Which could also be, you know, to be doubly fair, you know, used in mitigation for him, that, you know, he's still learning the job. But our point has often been that, and I think it's a penalty to PSG after the VAR review.
Oh.
Lovely. Yeah, our point has often been, this is not necessarily against Maresca. The point is that what is Chelsea Football Club doing with a chap whose only experience so far is managing in Serie B and in the Championship? This club deserves a named elite manager. We've had people like Carlo Ancelotti. We've had people like Jose Mourinho. You know, we've had proper managers. Thomas Tuchel. You know, that's what we're used to, having elite managers who have won things like the Champions League. You know, to have somebody who, you know, up until he joined us was a Championship manager was a slap in the face. So I think that possibly informs our negative attitude toward him. But if he goes on to win us lots of stuff and get us where we need to be and competing with Liverpool, City and Arsenal, then I will be the first to say, you know, okay, I might have got it wrong, fair play. Because I'm a fair bloke, you know.
Yeah.
but he's got to go and do it.
Whereas I will hate him forever.
Yes, but you're just more passionate than me in those kinds of things. You know,
I weren't really. I was just being dramatic.
Will you be like me and go, you know, okay, fair play, got it wrong, you've done all right.
If they win, one criticism becomes about what's happening on the pitch and who played well and who didn't play well, and you question the manager, but not to the degree that you want him gone.
I mean, there's an essential difference. I really didn't like Sarri. He got up my goat for some particular reason that I still can't fathom out. But he's not like Benitez, who I hated on principle. You know, Benitez could have won us the World Cup and I still would have hated him. Yeah. I just had a personal issue with Benitez. I don't have a personal issue with Maresca. You know, if he does well for us, I shall applaud it and go, well done. Thank you, mate. You know, brilliant. Love it.
I preferred Sarri because I could actually see what Sarri was trying to do.
Yeah, I could too, and I hated it.
Yeah, but at least you could see. Well, but in comparison with Maresca, I don't know what Maresca's been trying to do. So therefore, that's why I find him so disturbing, really, because it seemed to be. And what I thought after watching the Brighton games, what I thought he was trying to do was so useless that I didn't want to watch the game. I felt the players weren't playing to their best capabilities, and that he didn't know what he was doing. So that's I think my major criticism, at least with Sarri.
My God, they didn't score.
Oh,
bloody hell! Still 1-0.
Oh, they've still got they're still two goals behind, aren't they? So how long to go?
Half an hour. No, 20 minutes. I think we should go and watch it, JK.
I think we should.
Right, we're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to come back to say cheerio or something like that.
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Oh.
Real fans, real opinions.
I'm Jason Cundy, and you're listening to the Chelsea Football Fancast. Up the Chelsea!
Footballfancast.com.
Unbelievable. This StreamYard has a mind of its own, unlike me and JK. Right, okay. Time for a few shout-outs, the usual kind of fare. First of which, of course, is the fabulous Evening with Robbie Di Matteo, which is coming up on Saturday, the 17th of May. And there are tickets still available, I do believe, and they will cost you £60 English. It's all for charity. The funds that they're raising will go to the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, Prostate Cancer UK, Air Ambulance Northern Ireland, and the Chelsea Foundation. It's in the wonderful venue, which is under the bridge, and there will be more guests than just Robbie Di Matteo. There will be ex-players there as well from around that era. And of course, Pat Nevin will be hosting it, and Pat is just wonderful. We all love Pat. He's an absolute gentleman. There may still be some tickets available, which include a signed print of what you're seeing on screen now. They are £75, but I don't know how many are left. If you want to get tickets, either follow Marco at Gate 17 Marco or Mark Meehan at Eddie Mac BAWA, or go to the URL that is on the screen, which is tickettailor.com/events/1 Di Matteo /1629613. There we go. Go and do it. You won't regret it. You really won't regret it. I promise you that faithfully. Now, if you want one of our wonderful T-shirts or mugs, as they are on the screen now, you can point your camera at that QR code. Alternatively, you can just email your Uncle Chidge at the chelseaspecial@gmail.com and tell me what kind of design you want. There are 4 designs, obviously. Decision, Clear Lake and Obvious Error, 1 Gary Dixon, Drivel and Pointless Analysis, and the Chelsea Fancast Squad. So yeah, if you want a mug, tell me what design you want, if it's blue or white, and then if you want a T-shirt, tell me what design you want and what size it is. Leave us your address. Go and pay via PayPal one of the following amounts. If it's in the UK, the mugs are £15, I believe. I've lost my bloody thing. Here we go. £15 for the mugs, £25 for the T-shirts, including postage and packing. In Europe, it's £28 for the T-shirts, £18 for the mugs, and in the rest of the world, it's £30 for the T-shirts and £20 for the mugs. Pay it by PayPal, and then I will send it all to Tim, who will send it all out to you. So there we go. If you want one of our lovely bits of merch, you now know what to do. So there we go. Again, please do. And finally, a very quick shout out to all our lovely people on Patreon, particularly those who've joined us recently. It does all help. And it's a great way to support the show and what we do by bunging us a couple of quid every month. And PSG have scored a second goal, JK. 2-0. It's in the back of the net. Hakimi coolly beats the goalkeeper. Oh, how we laughed.
I think it's all over.
It is now. Oh, lovely. Yeah, Patreon. Patreon.com/Chelsea Fancast. You will get to join our Discord group, which is like our wonderful chat room, but 24/7. Lovely people in there, many of whom you'll know from the chat room on YouTube and Facebook. Also, if you want one, you can have a Kerry Dixon banner, a little mini Kerry Dixon banner, like the one behind me, but smaller. So there you go. Right, we will be back live.
Live, Chidge, live!
Well done, JK. On Friday night. Friday the 9th of May at 8 p.m. We'll be doing 2 shows. The first one will be reviewing the Chelsea versus Djurgarden, and then the second show will be previewing Newcastle United versus Chelsea. So there you go. And I think at the moment it might be thee and me again, JK.
Well, I hope we can manage it.
I think we probably will.
I think we shall.
I think it's been fun tonight. I've enjoyed it.
Yes. The digressions have been good fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, don't tell the others this, because they'll hate me and they'll never come back, and that would kill us. It would absolutely, there would be no more show if that happened. But I'm less stressed out when it's just you and me. Have you noticed that?
I think probably because you're very good at asking questions of everybody and making the other person have a go. So I think the pressure is on you for that. In this instance, you know that I'll just interrupt you. So,
and you'll know I'll just interrupt you.
Absolutely. So it
works perfectly.
Perfectly.
I'll see if I can rustle up somebody for Friday. There might be somebody free. I would hate to deprive our listeners of their wonderful guests who they love so much. So there you go. As do JK and I. We would be rightly fucked without any of them. Please don't ever leave us. We'll be fucked. Don't go. Stay. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back on Friday, so don't miss that. And you can follow the show on all the social media at Chelsea Fancast, me at Stamford, Chidge, and him at Jonathan Kidd. Right. East Middle tomorrow. Will it be full of Swede?
I don't think there'll be anybody there at all.
Really? Are you in there? They're selling.
I'm in there. I'm getting fish and chips.
No way. Have they
sent me the menu? Yeah. But they've called them excellent seaside chips. They've called them.
Fuck off. They really are a bunch of con merchants, aren't they?
Yes, it is all a bit dubious, isn't it?
Disgraceful.
But yeah, there'll hardly be anybody in there. But once again, everybody's very discerning, and everybody knows that we're 4-1 up, and it's the Mickey Mouse Cup, so they don't come. And it's got nothing to do with, they're not there for the facilities. They're not there for the hospitality. They're there for the game. They're there for the football.
Here for the Chelsea. We're only here for the Chelsea.
And they make such a silly error, thinking somehow that's what the attraction is, the experience. Well, the experience might be the case if you're playing Liverpool. I mean, the mind boggles at how much money they make.
Oh, Arsenal have scored. So it's now 3-1 on Ag.
How long is there to go?
13 minutes plus extra time, plus additional time. Saka scores. Let's hope that's just a consolation goal. I cannot think of anything worse and more atrocious and horrific than Arsenal reaching a Champions League final.
Particularly against a team that they probably might do well against. I don't think Inter.
I can't even begin to think of the horror of them winning it, but even making a final is enough.
Yeah,
I mean, I still haven't got over Spurs making a Champions League final.
They had a decent manager. Oh, it was Pochettino. Fancy
that. Right, old bean. Let's go and watch the rest of it. Now, come on, allez les bleus. Right. Thank you for listening. See you on Friday. Until then, keep it blue, keep it carefree, and keep it Chelsea. Chelsea.